Check this one. Oh, thank you. And there we go. That's wonderful. Oh, I have to make it. Huh? Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Today is a beautiful, beautiful day. It's 1st of July of 2023. It's holiday in the United States. And we are here for a new episode of the Truth Runners Talk Show. I'm really, really grateful. I'm humbled. And I'm very, very thankful for Reverend Joslyn Farray Pierre, who accepted to join me and be my guest on today's Truth Runner. So thank you very much, Reverend Joslyn, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. And because she's new on the Truth Runners Talk Show, guys, I would love to introduce you. I would love to introduce her to you before we move forward and we are deep diving in our topic today. So Reverend Joslyn would love to talk about her experience with the EAS Masterclass today, which was an absolutely phenomenal and life-transforming one. Okay, I've got things going on here. She came into the class feeling like a martyr. You know how that feels like, working, leading, and feeling undervalued. She had lots of outdated stories, and she was yearning to live in the absolute fullness of her truth. This class helped her to reach deep within to parts she had buried and uncover those layers like never before. Using the EAS methodology, she has been able to she has been an empowering experience from beginning to the end, from the brilliance and wisdom of the facilitator, the beautiful therapeutic and empowering lyrics in the program songs, to the powerful, engaging, and practical exercises. Today, she stands as a healer, as a healed leader with poise and confidence in her power, speaking her truth, and walking happily in another amazing season of her life to continue to serve, prosper, and elevate our world. She is also a wonderful coach, a wonderful trainer. And with that being said, I really would love to ask you my very first question, if you allow me. Who is the real Reverend Joslyn? Who are you?
I love that question. The real Reverend Joslyn is a simple lady. I would love to say goddess Joslyn.
Yay!
Hail from the Caribbean, from the beautiful, pure Grenada. It's a spice island in the Caribbean, just a dot on the map. But in this island, you have everything natural and pure. And so that's one aspect. But I'm currently living in another beautiful Caribbean island, that's Trinidad and Tobago. I normally tell people Trinidad is like the curb, the business belt of the Caribbean, and Grenada is where you go to retreat.
Oh, with peace and nice and quiet, right? Not the busy, crowded Tobago.
Yes, wow. And you get beautiful, wonderful people. You find compassion, empathy, peace, all those things that is really great for one's holistic health. You find it there readily in Grenada. Yeah.
Wow.
So and me, I grew up around church. I grew up around the whole spiritual aspect of life, that starting from my great grandmother, and then of course my mom, and then we all embrace that aspect of life. And of course, as time goes, I get to fall into my own truth as it relates to that. Yes.
Wow. So you come from a long line. So you come from a long line of beautiful, strong women with, spirituality in that. And that's beautiful.
Oh, yes.
How did your journey in spirituality started? How did your journey started? Let's put it this way, before we even get to spirituality.
Well, my journey started with spirituality to begin with. What I remember, of course, is my great grandma and my mom. And of course, my father was more of a silent partner with all of that. So whatever they say, he went along with. Yes. So my great grandma, she was into the religious aspect of things, and I saw her doing her rituals. I saw her interacting with the herbs. In terms of spirituality, one of the things I saw very early is her respect for nature. She would ask the tree to have of them, especially if it was at a certain time. I remember she said, if you're going out and you want to pick a leaf, tap that tree. She gave us the time and asked if you can pick. So I saw that. I saw her praying. She had what I didn't know back then, but it was crystals. Then she was using those things to pray with. So a number of things I was exposed to with that. In terms of my mom now, I saw and what I gathered from her in terms of spirituality, beyond just going to in the church building, she developed a very mindful practice within us as a family. She would have each and every one of us, including my dad, sit at the table to have a meal, whether it's dinner or whether it was breakfast, whatever time we could, at least for one day, we would, every day for one meal, we would sit with the daily word and have a devotion. So we would say the devotion, have a discussion on it, pray over our meal, and of course, we chit chat. That was my idea of mindfulness, spirituality, and everything. And that was something very sung that stayed with me throughout my lifetime to now. So that was my first bout of spirituality, seeing them praying, they're teaching us to pray. Of course, it was a different sort of thing because it was tied in with our religion of the day at the time. Yeah. And as I grew, I remember as a teenager, I began to question certain things. I wanted to know about God. Who is God? I'm hearing everybody talking about God, but why can't I see God?
Yeah.
So that's it. And that was not to be rebellious or so, but it was simply to get information to develop my own relationship with God. But my parents back then, I don't think they understood that. And they didn't have the answers that I was looking for, because their perception of God was God being all out here, all out there. And I've learned otherwise now that my God is with me right here.
Absolutely. That's true. But it's so beautiful that you share that, because you growing up, you already had that foundation, of connection with nature, connection, with the divinity, maybe from the religious perspective, but still, because I remember, yes, I know it's their upbringing. This is what religion does, put God up there, right? And we down here, and this is how I grow up. And it's very, very familiar when you say that in your teenager, you start asking, who's God? Why can I see him? I've been there too. I said, okay, I mean, he's up there. Okay, thank you very much. But what am I doing here? So yes, I've been that too. So that's beautiful. Yet now you got to this age today, you really truly know who you are. You know that you are a goddess, the divinity is within you. How the transformation, when the transformation happened, when you said, okay, Joslyn, you are a goddess and you own it. And you own it, because we really have to own it, to own who we are.
Yes, that transformation was a process. But I think for me, it was when I hit my rock bottoms. And to each rock bottom I hit, I got a little bit more insight as to who that God is. Yeah. And one of the final, we always evolving, so I have more, but one of the made one of my major rock bottom, which really helped me to truly evolve and make that connection with God in that special way, knowing that I am goddess, was that where I felt I was in a pit of scarcity, lack. I felt that, I had nothing. I was making a transition from my work, my regular job, because back then I was an educator within our school system. I taught within our local school system. And I made that shift. There are a number of things happen. Like I said, I've had a number of rock bottom moments. And I had rock bottom moments when I lost my son. I had rock bottom. That was a major eye opener for me also, because with that rock bottom moment, I make the connection with peace. I make the connection with God being with us and surpassing, taking you through those trials. So I truly made that connection and understood what peace was all about, that peace that surpasseth all understanding. So that was one aspect in regards to rock bottom and making connection. Then there came another rock bottom when I lost my marriage. And that connection again, in terms of there, I understood about family, I understood about love, and also my father was very integral in that aspect too. I always remember he was not a man, and still is not a man of great words, very, eloquent, and so, but he has always been there for us as his girls. I don't have any brothers, so it is four of us girls, and he have always. And as I go through that process of divorce and my rock bottom, then I remember he's standing as a pillar, not criticizing any party or any so. And the one thing I remember is one time he came and he tapped me on my shoulder and he said to me, "Joss, you are a beautiful woman." And that said it all. So that making connection again with love came in. And going back to the final thing, when I truly say, "Oh yes, God is in me," is making that transition, not understanding fully what it took to run a business, what it takes, and all the other things that goes with business. I felt that I had absolutely nothing. But I always remember my daughter saying, "Mom, we always have something." And it's true, walking through, so I was interacting with nature, and God then reached out and I was able to develop the bond with the moon. And I can go on and on saying all the different things that happened, learned about crystal, flower essences, and it's going through those things, I realized that God is with me. And of course, I made the connection as a metaphysician. So I came into some knowledge. I went into the University of Metaphysics, and I learned a whole lot from the marvelous community of knowing exactly who my God is and what and who I am. Wow. Yes.
Absolutely. And that's wonderful, Joslyn. And thank you so much for sharing. Kudos and respect to your father, because yes, he was a pillar to you and he never discouraged you. He always encouraged you, even he was a man of not many words. But that's the good with those type of people like your father, that when they say something, now you then don't forget ever. So that's wonderful. And you said that you've been at the university, you are a metaphysician, right? And you find that connection, that divinity, that God within you. And despite all of you've been going through, yet you are still here, smiling, flourishing, you are radiating. And what I'm saying is just, you are just really an inspiration and an example to follow. And you are. Because many people, when they are down and they hit your bottom, right, any one of those things, what happens to you, happens to them, they are not able, or they make the choice not to stand up. Yet you've been through many, and you are still here, radiating, standing, smiling, and going out there and inspiring people. And that's truly, truly amazing. You truly own it. So all my respect to you, and I do love you.
Oh, thank you.
It's really amazing, Reverend Joslyn, what you did. How you were talking about crystals. I do crystals. I do crystals. I do oils. So we are very much alike. We kind of do all the same things. And there is anything special or specific on your journey what you would love to share today? What's that point where I said, that was the missing link?
What I would love to share more than ever is my experience when I did the EAS program with Enolia. Because you would have heard I shared my rock bottom, I shared how I come up, I shared about being within the university. I'm still a student. I'm pursuing my PhD now. So what always came up for me, and I've always had issue over the years, is what I love to call own my power. I felt that I was constantly giving away my power. I felt that I was not truly being all of that Joslyn who I knew myself, but I felt I couldn't put it out there in the world as much as I would like to. I was a leader, I was involved in everything. At one point, I was in church from Sunday to Sunday, every day of the week. So it was not a matter of not being involved or being shy or anything like that. I think it was more of a martyr, what I would like to call the martyr mentality, where I was giving. And again, I want to reiterate, although I was giving, and I know we use a lot of this word self-care now, and we associate self-care with pampering, because I was giving and I was pampering myself too. So I was doing all of that, all the things, quote unquote, the book says and so on. I was doing that, but there was a part of me that just wasn't gelling. I was not feeling 100% fulfilled. And I felt that there were times I was not being heard. And what made it even more, because I just want to give the audience a general idea of how I was when I met Enolia and started that EAS Masterclass. Because when I met Enolia, of course, I was still, I'm still in transition, was transitioning. And I had to deal, my confidence was shaken a bit. And I felt being in another country also, lots of the people didn't understand me. They didn't know my background, of course. And coming from a small island, oftentimes folks may think, what do you have to offer? Yeah. So I knew I had a lot to offer. But so folks, I had all these, and I developed a lot of stories. I had all these barriers. I felt I was struggling to get my voice out there. And I eventually reached out to Enolia because I was meditating. I remember that particular day I was doing my specific meditation ritual. And after that, I heard her voice in my spirit. I heard, so I reached out. I had this acronym which I said, ask. Who I asked. And she willingly consented. She agreed. And we worked that EAS program. I surrendered. I became vulnerable. I shared, and it was through that program I truly was able to overcome a lot of those things that went with the martyr mentality in terms of not feeling confident with my and when I talk about voice, sharing my message with power. Another thing, especially with these stories that I was telling myself, had to do with forming those attachments. I learned from that program. Jocelyn, folks can always have their opinion. Folks will always have an opinion. Folks can judge, but you do not have to make that attachment. That do not have to be your story. And you can stand. So in terms of assertiveness, in terms of, knowing and feeling confident in sharing my story, bringing my voice out, that program is beautiful. And I want to mention that the singing too, because those songs over the course of the week, each week, we get in those songs to truly get into our spirit. Wow. That helped. So yes, that was one of the things I truly wanted to let people know about. It's all right to, even if you're a leader, even if you may think you quote unquote know it all, I have been there and all the works, it's okay to begin to do your inner healing, begin to expose yourself to ideas and to things, and self-care. I call it sacred self-care, to truly dig deep and pull out those things that would have affected you, release them, and of course, replenish yourself, knowing exactly who you are and walking in that truth. Because it's not for coward. I had an old friend used to say, Jocelyn, those things are not for sissies.
Absolutely.
So yes.
Oh, thank you, Reverend Joslyn, for sharing that. I would love to have a question on that. If you look on the whole program, on the whole EAS program you did together with the Nonia, what's your biggest takeaway, or what's your biggest shift? Because you become more confident, you were able now to show your vulnerability and make it your strengths, right? And you are through the program, you really have to do work in order to move forward. Otherwise, you cannot move forward in order to grow. And in order to become who you really are, people to see you, hear you, right? And love you the way how kind of you love yourself, okay? But for you, and because I'm asking you this, because for each and every one of us, the journey is personal. It's yours. It's unique. What was the major shift? What happened to you during the program? And now you can say, yes, this is who I am. I'm not afraid to go out there because I know that fear, what it is. So what was that shift? What happened?
My biggest shift was, and I relate it right back to one of the songs, I'm Standing in My Truth. Knowing that I was at rock bottom, knowing that the material resources around me, my finances, I felt that it wasn't good. And I attached my identity to that finance. And so knowing all of that, I lost my confidence and I began to listen to outside stories. Yes. So my big shift came about when, as I mentioned earlier, when I recognized that I didn't have to be that story. And I remember a part in the course where she spoke towards the dangling carrot, and that you will be forever wanting, when you do this, you want more, and you feel you're not enough, and you keep going. Or if they had brought up the instance of the hair, the example of the hair, as you figure, the hair not there. And so these were shifts that happened for me, learning to stand in my truth, knowing exactly who I am, knowing that God is in me. Well, of course, the program didn't say God is in me, but I know that. So knowing to stand on my truth, knowing who Jocelyn is, and Ye-
Okay, from my side, Reverend Joslyn is frozen. I'm not really sure if you guys have that. It might be my internet. I'm not very sure about that. So what you guys need to know that Reverend Joslyn is a wonderful, wonderful person. She's a beautiful soul. She's been through many, many, many. And I absolutely love her courage and determination to, to change, to have that transformation, to be the goddess who she really truly is inside. She works with crystals. I know that she has a couple of really, really, really good programs with many, many people. She got cut off, no problem. We can ask her to come back. So in the meantime, and the program what she was talking about, the EAS methodology with Enolia 40, I would highly recommend um, for everyone who is looking to make a major change or shift. It's more about the inner journey. It's going to be about getting to really know who you truly are, your wholeness, knowing that you are whole with all the goods and bads, knowing that you are whole even with your vulnerabilities, okay? We are a component of many, many, many things together, and we cannot deny one part of us and just embrace the other. It's about embracing the wholeness, embracing who we really, truly, fully are. That's the program, what the EAS methodology is, and Reverend Joslyn is talking about. And also, I must say, before she comes back, that I truly admire her again for the courage and for the inner work. But we are all different. We all have our own journey, our own path. For some people, for some beautiful souls, it might take a little bit longer. For some, it goes quite easy. It depends on what kind of level of understanding we are, and how much, I'm going to say this, how much pain are we willing to take in order to grow and in order to get to know the core of our essence. Okay. And yes, sometimes we might be really down on our knees, but a very good friend of mine said, and I'm going to quote her, that when you're down to nothing, God is up to something. So that's a really, really good stuff, because I've been down on my knees many, many times. And you know what? I am truly grateful for that moment now. I didn't appreciate the moment where I was in it, because I was really down, really broken. I was down on my knees. But remember one thing, guys, when you are down on your knees, what's going to happen is the only way where you can look is up. From there, you only can look up. It is always a matter of choice. And we always, always have the possibility and the option to choose. No matter what we do, no matter who we are, no matter where we are, it is always our choice. Always and always, whether we do it consciously or unconsciously, whether we are aware of it or not, it is always, always, always our choice. It's our choice how we move forward. It is our choice if we dwell in it and for how long. But the truth is, the longer we dwell in, and in self-pity and this mentality of lack, the longer we are in there, the longer it will take to get out of there. So it's like, it's really about wanting to get to know yourself really, really well. So I'm wondering if Reverend Joslyn would be able to come back. Let's see if she can do that. If you guys have any questions regarding this, I'm going to put in the comments below her website. She's an amazing coach. I know that Reverend Joslyn, she's also a nutritionist. She works also with crystals. And if you need, or you think, or you feel that you resonate with her, then feel free to connect with her. I'm sure that you always you will only learn new things and good things from her. And in the meantime, while we are waiting, and I'm not just talking here to myself, hello. If you have any questions, guys, can you just please put them in the chat below? I'm more than happy to answer. Hi, Inga. Hi, beautiful. How are you, sweet soul? And hi, I'm seeing Zio. Hi, Zio. You are stunning. Oh, thank you. And so are you. You are stunning, beautiful soul. Both of you, Inga, Zio. That's absolutely wonderful. Hi, Tanya. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining. We are waiting for Reverend Joslyn to come back. I absolutely would love to continue the conversation with her. She's an amazing, amazing woman. She lives right now in Trinidad and Tobago. She is working towards her PhD, which is an amazing thing. That's a lot of work. So I really, really, truly appreciate and love the fact that she's going and she never gives up about it, even after all those things happened in her life. So I just would love to say one thing. I would love to encourage you to really don't let yourself define by your current circumstances, because circumstances always can change instantly. It might change in a week, in a month, but they always change. It is always your intention that drives. Your intention is very, very important. The energy, the frequency, how you resonate, it's very important. Because if you come from a place of lack, if you come from a place of not knowing who you are and not respecting and really truly loving yourself, not respecting the wholeness, the whole of you, then it's gonna be difficult, right? People say, okay, well, I would love to change, and they dream about a beautiful life and they would love to do a lot of things. Yet they are trapped in the automatic mode, on how we live our lives. What I'm saying is, it's just your intention. It's a matter of choice. It's a matter of deciding, hi, Tanya, of deciding, taking that conscious decision, okay, I am not only human, I am divine, and live in the knowing that we are both human and divine. Live in the knowing that you, me, each and every one of us are destined for greatness. How we grow up, our circumstances define us only if we allow them to define us. People define us only if we allow them to define us. Whenever things happen, remember they happen for a reason. Everything what happens to you, every experience is there for you to learn a lesson or to teach others. Everything what happened to you in your life, it was meant to happen for your own growth, whether you believe it or not. You might say, yes, Christina, but I've been going through this and this. I've been too, yet I'm still here standing tall and talking to you. So I'm telling you, circumstances always can change. It's up to you. I would love to invite you to live in the knowing that you are both human and divine. Live knowing that you are that bright, shining light and people need you. People around you need you, the world needs you. And just allow yourself to really embrace and know that whatever happened to you, again, it was there for a reason. Similar with people. People come into your life for a reason and a season. And again, I've learned this from a very good friend of mine, and I experienced it actually. Rarely we know someone from the day when we were born until we transition, right? That's a long period of time on Earth on 3D, if we take it that way. But people come into our life for a reason and a season. The reason might be that maybe we have to learn a lesson, or maybe we have to teach them a lesson. And the season, it might be an hour, a minute, a day, a week, a year, 5 or 10. And when the lesson is learned, and the lesson learned, it's always there for a reason. So Reverend Joslyn, she's gonna come back. It's absolutely not an issue at all. We are waiting for her because Truth Runners is about her and it's about you guys. It's about people sharing their stories, speaking their truth. It's very, very important that you guys, whoever are here, just really speak your truth. Speak what exactly it means speaking your truth, honestly. If any one of you guys just can put in the comments, what do you mean? What do you really think? What does it mean expressing your truth or speaking your truth? Because we have different opinions on this one, and I'm really, really curious to find out what exactly it means speaking your truth in your opinion. So I would be really, really curious and absolutely delighted to see your comments. And I think we're gonna soon have back Reverend Joslyn. Let's see how it goes. Absolutely, yes. So let me see. Oh, there we go. There is my beautiful Reverend Joslyn. I can't see you yet, but let's see how it goes.
Oh boy.
Oh, there we go. Absolutely wonderful. It's technology. There's nothing we can. This is something what we cannot control. There are many, many things what we can, but I believe that this is something what we really cannot control. So that's not a problem at all. We have beautiful souls watching. Inga, Zio, Tanya. So hi guys, I truly appreciate you. And Reverend Joslyn is happy. So let's take it from where we left off. We were talking about your EAS journey, right? And what was the big shift?
Yes, the big shift for me was truly knowing that I don't have to take on anybody's stories. I don't even have to, I don't have to have a story. I can rewrite my story. I can put the things, the truth about who I am, knowing who I am and walking in that truth. And nothing on the outside truly have anything to do with me. It's what is on the inside. And so this was a game changer for me in terms of standing in my truth. Because I used to listen to a whole lot of old stories out there. Those stories was really outdated, stories that other folks told me, stories that people thought my circumstances as well. There were times I felt that, I totally lost my voice in terms of knowing I would have beautiful experience, wonderful experience, things that the Creator was doing for me, and I was not sharing it. Yes? So it was as simple, even in terms of a book. Before I write a lot, and just being able to put out my first book, I wrestled with that to truly accept it. So the EAS program truly helped me with that.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Reverend Joslyn. I truly appreciate it. And I would love to ask you if you would love to share. I've seen many, many times that you are in nutrition. Am I correct? Hi, Spresa. How are you, Spresa?
Yes. I'm not hearing you too clearly, but you said, you actually, nutrition has been a big part of my life. In fact, I taught food, nutrition, and health for a long time within the public school system. and also a certified health coach. So it's a big thing for me. And one of the things I want to plug in here is that I encourage people to have meatless days like Meatless Monday. In recent times, I became a Taste of African Heritage nutrition instructor. And so that's one of the things I am promoting now and helping communities, truly helping everyone to develop an appreciation for our African heritage, our African culture. Over the years, there are times that, especially within and I'm not knocking anybody or anything, but especially within the North American culture, and I being in the Caribbean, a lot of times we take some of our stuff from there. So we had some bad rap in regards to the diet. You hear people talk about soul food, and so they associate soul food with all those very rich stuff, all the big slabs of meat and everything that goes with it. And those things have their place, but more than ever, they have those diet, the African diet, being associated with diabetes, being associated with obesity, being associated with heart disease. And so a taste of African heritage diet takes an individual to get you right back to the origin of the African diet, letting you know that it was a healthy diet. Actually, it is steeped in plants, so it's a plant-based diet. When our African ancestors had meat, it was simply mainly for flavoring or more for ceremonial nature. And so that's one aspect and component of a taste of African heritage, that helping one to develop a true appreciation for the rich, healthy foods that particular culture offers, the tastiness, and it's more than that. So it's more than just food. It's teaching you about the culture, it's teaching you about community, and of course it embraces every other diet, because we get to learn about each other's culture. So that's one aspect of a taste of African heritage, which I'm working with now and having people tap into so they can truly help themselves in terms of health. And it's a holistic program.
Wow, thank you so much, Joslyn, for sharing that with me. I love the initiative, and I love that you work with communities. And I believe that through the program, the Taste of Africa Heritage Diet, we are not just only talking about food, really. It's more about going back to, to the roots and finding, all this kind of stuff, what you kind of lost because of certain circumstances. And building that community, building that, having that sense of belonging, for a community or to a community, that's really, really amazing. So I truly appreciate the work what you are doing. It's truly admirable.
Thank you. I want to hasten to say that this is an international program. So it's not just, again, I'm very conscious that lots of time people think that the smaller islands cannot, give out to the more developed countries. But I want folks to know that that particular program, it's an international program. So it takes everybody into consideration, and it's not just Caribbean. In fact, I'm just introducing it to our Caribbean people here.
Oh, and thank you. That's awesome. I really truly love it. I love the whole concept, actually, how it works. Okay, is there any specific program, any specific workshop or something what you would love to share with our audience and would love to connect with you? We are going to add your Facebook, your website if you have, so people, my good peeps out there, my beautiful souls, if it resonates with you, okay, let it be nutrition, let it be coaching, let it be anything, you know, Reverend Joslyn is all holistic. I think she is an amazing soul, as I said, and you, as you can see. So reach out to her. We're gonna put everything out there. Shpresa is telling us that nutrition is a cultural issue to be treated and shared. We in Albania, we know almost nothing about the African nutrition. Yes. Good day, ladies. Hi, Dr. Angela. And thank you so much, Presa, for your comment. Yes, that's absolutely true. Nutrition is very, very important in all cultures. Let's just summarize it, I think, because our health, it's really, really very important. And I love the fact that it's plant-based, no meat Monday. I'm telling that.
Yes, it's bad.
Going back to my question, is there any workshop or any of the programs what you would love to share?
Great. There's two particular program, and folks can get me anyway on social media as Reverend Joslyn Farray Pierre. Two particular program. One, I focus a lot to meditation, and currently I'm teaching the basics of meditation. So that's one aspect of the program, and I have a sacred self-care program or a holistic self-care program, which to the entire man. Most of that program came because of my experiences and how I was able to stay healthy, stay whole during those transition times, during those rock bottom moments and all of that. I was able to not develop any form of mental illness, not develop any physical illness, nor have any terrible emotional
attachments, huh?
So that program came from that, how I interacted. The moon plays a major aspect of it. And I want to hasten to say with the moon, because folks think sometimes when you talk about the moon, it's woo-woo. No, it's just basically...
It's just full moon. I mean, come on, it's full moon.
Yes. So within that program, you get to be able to tap into that moon energy and use it in whichever way that works for you, whether it's through fasting, whether it's through releasing emotionally, whether it's through setting intention, whether it's just simply doing some therapeutic work with your journals. So these are one aspect of the program. Of course, you get a bit of nutrition within the program, and flower essences, aromatherapy. So you get
Oh, please don't tell me, guys, I'm losing Reverend Justin today again because of the internet. Okay, I'm sending it out. Everything is going to be fine, and she's gonna come back. Espressa, you are asking, tell us more on holistic nutrition. She is actually, Reverend Jocelyn is actually teaching holistic nutrition. So I would really, really strongly recommend that you guys, you know each other. I think you are friends, so you know each other. And I would really love to encourage you to reach out to Reverend Jocelyn, and I'm sure that she can absolutely help you on this side of holistic nutrition part, really. Yes, it is also helps to help well-being and education and mental health. Yes, absolutely true. Yes, that's true. I do truly agree on that one. So I'm gonna put Reverend Jocelyn's details. You can always reach out to her. Her approach is really truly holistic because it covers a lot of things. So as you could hear, her program covers starting from the basic of meditation and a lot of other things. Nutrition, touches on nutrition as well. And I love, she named it Secret Self-Care. I really truly love that. It must be a very awesome program. So I really encourage you guys to reach out to her. It's going to be an amazing, amazing and truly life-changing experience. I'm going to wait a couple of more minutes to see if she is coming back. I'm very much aware of the time. So you guys being with me today, with us today for almost an hour now. And I really, truly appreciate. Okay, Reverend Joslyn, she will not be able to come back, but that's okay because I think you guys got to know her. She's an amazing and beautiful soul with a lot of experience. I would love to thank you all for having the patience with us today. I would love to thank you all for being here again on the Truth Runners Talk Show. I must say, I absolutely love my show. We are going to bring, and I'm going to have more and more amazing, beautiful souls as guests for you guys. So you learn about a multitude of things, a multitude of, and you can hear from different perspectives, different things. I hope it's mind opening. If there is anything what you would love to share with me in particular or specifically, remember that you can always reach us to me as well, either here, either through my Facebook, through my website, which is www.christinakonya.com. There are a couple of good stuff over there. So if you think that you would love to get to know a little bit more about me or get to know yourself, especially a little bit more better, just visit my website. Thank you very much, Presta. Yes, thank you very much, Reverend Joslyn. It was absolutely wonderful to have you today. And with this being said, I'm going to say thank you for all of you for being here. I'm going to see you next week with another wonderful, beautiful soul as guest. And until then, I'm going to say, I love you all. I see you all. And I'm sending you lots of love and light as always. I'm going to see you guys next week. Bye for now.